Hi, this is Jazzy here from JewelsByJazzy.com, and today's lesson is how to make a wire-wrapped ring. The ring we're going to make today has a spiral on top. We can use different types of stones in different sizes. For example, this ring right here has mother-of-pearl buttons on it that are stacked on top of each other. We're going to use lampwork beads today, and if you're ready, grab your tools. Special shout out to Talia, who's been waiting patiently for this video. Let's get started. For today's lesson, we're going to go ahead and use a lampwork bead. These are glass beads. The beads that I have are from Brendan Blake. His website is bbglassart.com. I think we're going to go ahead and pick out a bead. So today I'm going to choose, I think we'll choose this one right here. Now the first thing you need to know when you pick out a bead to do the spiral rings is that the bead hole has to be large enough so that your wire will pass through it twice. So I just have a piece of sample wire here. I'm going to fold it and put it in half, and you're going to see I can pass through that twice. So I know that I'll have no problem wire wrapping this ring. After you have your stone picked out that you're going to use for your ring, let's talk about the tools and supplies you'll need. Today we're going to work with artistic wire. This is silver plated artistic wire. It's non-tarnishing silver, and we're going to use 20 gauge. That's a nice durable thickness for this, and you'll see why, and it hammers very nicely. It does come in other colors. For example, here we have black, which would also make a really cool ring. But today, we're going to go ahead and use the anti-tarnish silver. In addition to the wire, other things you're going to need are a ring sizer. If you don't know what your ring size is, or maybe you're making this for somebody else, make sure you have them try on different size rings until you determine what you need. So if you have a ring sizer, whether it's metal or plastic, it'll have the indications of the ring sizes engraved somewhere on there. We're going to need a pair of chain nose pliers. You're going to need your flush cutters. You'll need a ring mandrel. Now this is a plastic one that I have here, and mine is grooved on the back. Now if you don't have a grooved one, you may have to make some adjustments when I give you the dimensions later in this video. But this is a plastic ring mandrel, and it goes all the way from size 1 down to size 15. So you can make men's rings as well. And then you'll need a rubber mallet. Okay, it's a wooden mallet. It's got a heavy mallet head on it, and it's got two sides for rubber. You can use either side, and we'll talk about that actually when we go to use this. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to take your artistic wire. I've already opened the package, and you're going to unspool. Probably you want about 2.5 to 3 feet. Okay, and you can use the scrap. I'll show you that later. You can save all your scrap. So go ahead and cut that with your flush cutters. Okay. After you have this wire, it obviously has a curl in it. Go ahead and run it through your fingers, and that kind of warms the wire, and it conditions it. So we're kind of work hardening the wire. Just run it through your fingers, your thumb and your forefinger, just a couple times to kind of straighten it out. Now with this particular ring mandrel, again, as I mentioned, I have the one with the groove in the back. I know that I need to start out with a ring that's about 3/4 of a size larger than I need. So let's say I want to make a size 8 ring. I'm going to wrap it at about an 8 3/4. Now when we're done, if we're a little bit off, we can hammer the ring and we can get back about a half a size, and I'll explain that when we get there. So now what we're going to do is on these rings, I'm going to grab one from over here. I like to have the shank of the ring is the bottom of the ring. I like to have it be 4 wires wide. It gives it a nice substantial look, and it's nice and thick. Okay, so to do that, you're going to take your wire. And again, it's a little awkward to do this at first. You'll have to practice. I want a size 8, so I'm going to wrap it at an 8 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it 1, 2, 3. Let's look at the back. I've got 4. Now kind of bring your wires together towards the top so that they're at about the same length. That's pretty close. Okay, and pull it real tight. I'm going to slide it back down on the mandrel so I get back to that size that I wanted. And just kind of run these through my fingers real tight. I'm putting some good pressure on this to keep them together. Okay, now that they're together, I'm going to hold them with my left hand. I'm right-handed. I'm going to go ahead and slide that lampwork bead over the tops of these wires. Okay, I'm going through, both wires are going through simultaneously. Now I'm going to pull it down tight to the mandrel, but there's a little bit of a gap here. Do you see that gap right there? What I want to do is keep that bead as close to the ring mandrel as I can. So I'm going to pull these wires tight. Now pull towards the top because this is going to be your excess wire. You don't want to scratch the wire. So I'm going to grab these and give these a good pull. And what I'm doing at the same time is on the bottom I'm pushing down with my ring. Okay, now here's the fun part. We're going to create the spiral. I'm going to bend the wires 90 degrees. Did you see how I did that? It's horizontal. Don't worry if these wires down here get distorted. You're going to hammer those back into shape. Now you've got to use your thumb and you've got to put some really good pressure on top of those wires. And I'm going to hold this, and you're not going to see what's going on because my thumb's going to be in the way, but I'm going to push really hard, and with my right hand I'm going to make little teeny tiny little twists with the wire. Every once in a while I'm going to look and see what it looks like. Okay, we're going to turn the mandrel as we do this because we want to achieve the look of a spiral. So I'm pushing really hard with my thumb on my left hand, giving little tiny twists, and it takes a while to get that first turn going to where it starts to spiral.